So if you're considering moving to Coral Gables, here are 10 things you need to consider before making your decision. Number 1 is cost of living. Cost of living in Coral Gables is 70% higher than the national average. This is in part because real estate and housing in Coral Gables is 208% higher than the rest of the United States. Number 2 is the weather. Weather is really good in Coral Gables, but I will say for 70 to 80% of the year. The rest of the year is really humid, it gets really hot, and you can expect rain every afternoon. So if you're expecting to play tennis, play golf, do some outdoor activities during the summer, you should think twice because there's gonna be rain involved. Number 3 is public transportation. Public transportation is good in Coral Gables, but it's not great. It has become better during the last few years, but if you plan to get around the Gables, or if you even work in downtown or Brickell area, you'll definitely need a car. There's a trolley system that takes you all the way Ponce de Leon Avenue, which is one of the main avenues in Coral Gables, and there's a train system that could take you from Douglas Station in Coral Gables to Brickell and downtown, but it's kind of a hassle a little bit, and don't expect it to be like cities like New York, Washington, Chicago, other cities with like great public transportation. So if you live in Coral Gables, you should expect to have a car. Number 4 is that there are no gated communities. Here in the Gables, every neighborhood is open, and if you're accustomed to like gated communities, don't expect that to have that on the Gables. Yes, you'll find some like Coco Plum or Gable Estates, but if you want to be there, you should expect to pay a hefty price to be in there. I've seen houses there go for, there's one selling right now for $55 million. So if you want a gated community in Coral Gables, you should expect to pay a big price for your home. Number 5 is that there's no new construction. I mean, there's new construction, and some owners and developers have remodeled some homes, and they're even building some small townhome complexes in Coral Gables. But don't expect these big new development communities in Coral Gables, because it's more of an old neighborhood. You'll see a lot of Spanish style houses. You'll see houses built in the 1940s, 1950s with old plumbing, old roofs, all electricity. So if you're planning to buy a house in the Gables, either you'll need to buy a remodeled home from a previous owner and you'll need to pay the premium for that, or you'll need to have spare cash on your pocket to renew everything, remodel everything, and fix the plumbing, roof, electricity. So I'll say that's a big number that you should have in your mind. This brings me to point number 6. No house is the same in Coral Gables. If you expect to find a cookie cutter neighborhood here in the Gables, then it's not what you'll find. Every house is built differently. Everyone has done their own remodels to their houses, or basically they've left their houses the same since they bought it. But you won't find these cookie cutter South Florida neighborhoods where every house is the same, and you have an HOA that puts on some rules that you need to paint it this way, windows needs to be this way. So basically here everything's different, and to me that's one of the pros of living in Coral Gables, because it gives the neighborhood, it gives the city a lot of character, which you don't find in like cookie cutter neighborhoods more in the suburbs or more north. So that's one thing to consider. If you like cookie cutter, if you like big developments with cookie cutter homes, Coral Gables is not for you to consider. If you like more character, better architecture, and I'll say better build quality, I think you should consider the Gables. Number 7 is that Coral Gables is a college town. A lot of people don't realize this, but the University of Miami is located in Coral Gables. UM is home to about 17,000 students around the world, and this gives Coral Gables a little bit of a college town feel. University of Miami is located 3 miles south of downtown Coral Gables. Number 8 is hurricanes. This has to do a little bit with the weather aspect, but yeah, hurricanes are not cool. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, so I've been accustomed to hurricanes for all of my life, but that doesn't mean they're nice or they're cool. Some are really bad, some are not that bad, so at least you can drive north if a hurricane comes and you can make a small little road trip out of it. But then depending of the category of the storm or the hurricane, you could have a lot of damage in your home or in your surrounding areas. So number 9 is the language. Expect to hear a lot of Spanish around you. For me, that's a pro because my first language is Spanish. But yeah, it's something you need to have in your mind if you're coming from north and you're coming from if your first language is English, you need to have that on your mind because yes, everybody here speaks English, but then around you you'll be hearing a lot of Spanish. So it's a pro to me because you'll be able to learn a second language, but yeah, you need to keep that on your mind. And number 10, and the last thing to consider, are the tourists. It's not that you will find a lot of tourists like South Beach, Brickell, and downtown, but you'll find some tourists. Usually the tourists that come here to Coral Gables are more serious tourists that come to have dinner or have a relaxed time with family. But yes, you'll find the occasional drunk tourist or young party group of people that think that Coral Gables is South Beach or Brickell. But I'll say out of 100, you'll find one of those. So yeah, it's one thing to consider, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. My name is Henry Barreda and I'm a real estate agent here in the Miami and Coral Gables area. If you have any real estate questions about the Miami or Coral Gables area, feel free to reach out to me. All my information is down in the description, so don't hesitate to contact me if you have any question. See you in the next one.